welcome back, everybody, to episode 52 of the Under Review podcast. I am your host, as always, Todd, and alongside me is my co-host, Marty.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Back for round 52.
Man, well, sounds about right. Today, we're going to do our usual. We're on part 3 of our transfer portal series. That is Missouri, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Didn't I send you the thing already for it?
You did. I wasn't looking at my phone, though.
Oh, I don't think. It might be in the statue. I don't remember.
It's supposed to be the next one. But anywho, before we get started, first and foremost, if you are in the St. Clair County, Calhoun County area and you have bugs, there's a new man that is now on scene. Tactical Home and Pest, I want to say, is the name.
Tactical Home Pest something or another. What's bad with
Sounds about right. I made the logo, so I mean.
Oh, did you do that? That's what I was telling. Yeah. I told Brittany. I said that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he just sent me what he needed, and I fixed it up. But it is our uncle Benjamin Dominguez. Over 25 years. Was it commercial? Mm-hmm. I think it was
commercial.
Done work in Afghanistan and overseas as well. We'll get more a phone number. Yeah, right outside the door. Go check them out on Facebook for sure.
Yeah, it's Tactical Homes and Pest Service, LLC.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's the Facebook. Go out there, go like it. There's a phone number on there to call him. If that chicken don't shut up, he's going to be next.
He's going to be some nuggets.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. He's just not getting started up. He's finally back home, and I think Aunt Doe was tired of him being at the house all day.
Story, yeah.
Which, I mean, you have that opportunity to. And then again, I do want to say thank you to Hayden Coker, as always, to Cody, who unfortunately still can't be with us for now, Brandon and Jud. I can blast that thing. Also, I want to say thank you to our wives, Maddie and Brittany. They put up with a lot. I know.
More than usual.
I know sometimes I can be a very handful, especially when it comes to this, because I'm very
exactly.
I'm very short attention span right now. But I do want to thank y'all for the patience and the love.
Some days it's a choking.
Yeah, but what's that next slideshow? Is we going to start off?
Well, like I said. So I noticed we've got
Cody.
So a little bit more news on Cody. I talked with him some this week. I don't think I really talked to you much, but he's had to step back just a little bit. He's still going to have a good role when he can. I think he's starting his EMT classes or his some kind of fire class that he's going to be having a lot of school, and he's still doing some other projects he's doing, as well as the full-time director of catering at Chick-fil-A, and that's a handful.
It is.
So, like I said, I still want to keep him on our desk. He can be our little referee bobblehead.
Yeah, I told him, I said, we're not going to fully kick you out, but, with the way his schedule is, the way our schedule is, well, my schedule. Well, you work now, so our schedule.
Mine's more, mine's a little more flexible than yours, because Cody does mine, so.
It can be a little hectic at times, but he will be for sure back during the season on the preview show. He will be full time on the nope, I said that wrong. Post game show.
Post game,
on Sundays.
Yeah. So,
well, we record on Sundays. It goes out Monday.
Yeah, and I know Hayden's missing it, but going to school and all that, like with Hayden just graduating and bettering herself, so definitely respect that and.
Go ahead, because I couldn't do it.
Right. I thought about it for like 5 seconds, but you know how that went.
I'm a 5-time dropout. I'm pretty good at it. But there it is. There's the picture. Transfer portal. We got Missouri again, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, South Carolina. Based on the numbers, these teams look pretty good in and out. I do want to say there's one team, I think, what they lost, but they gained right back in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
That is Oklahoma. Missouri added some offensive weapons, not a lot of defensive weapons that I've seen. Ole Miss lost their backup quarterback. backup quarterback. South Carolina, that one was hard, and I think it is because I'm not really a South Carolina fan. It took me a long time to look into their stuff, trying to find somebody that was imported that was leaving and imported that was coming in. That one took the longest, but that's the rundown at 5 minutes, and let's get started. Starting with the Missouri Tigers. Ooh, I like that graphic. Was that fourth in the SEC?
Yes, and I'm not sure what the 37 is on that far side. I don't know if that's...
Probably national.
Well, but South Carolina, there's a whole lot higher than I thought it would be. But anyway, this is just a quick breakdown.
Yeah, screw that NIL stuff. We don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
22 players in, 24 players out, which, like I said, for these smaller SEC schools that didn't have a great year, that number on out is right there between 17 to 27, that 10-point range right there, like the Mississippi States, the Missouris. I want to say South Carolina was up there too. But so you're going to see this big of number, but the best part about it is that transfer in coming in. You grab 22 players, and 2 of them are my favorite players that I was hoping that Auburn was going to go all in for. And I'm pretty sure we're about to talk about them in a little bit, so go ahead.
We're getting to one of them, so I'm trying.
Uh-oh.
No, it's not uh-oh. I had...
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, we only got 2?
Yeah, because I didn't get anything from Cody. I know he's been super busy, so I just went ahead and knocked these 2 guys out.
Oh, well, we'll start with the quarterback. Drew Pine. I'm guessing this was your pick.
Yes.
So explain to me why this one was your pick.
Well, I mean, I guess a lot of these picks that we're going to have that we've already had before, I think is what their upside can be. Yeah, he stepped in and played a pretty significant role for Mizzou when, who was their starter?
Pretty good.
Yeah, when he went down for the 2 or 3 games, against the Auburn game and stuff like that. I think his upside is going to be higher where he goes. I didn't see where he went. But no, I liked him. He's a decent quarterback, I think, with some real good shape, and he can be an elite quarterback. Not to win a Heisman or anything, but he'll be a good pickup for maybe a smaller school, a D1 school like that.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Now, to me, with Drew Pine, numbers don't pop out. 49 for 82 on the year, 391 yards. 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, sacked 4 times. The games that he played in made me want to pull my hair out watching a quarterback. He looked frazzled. I get it. You sit behind Brady Cook, you're not expected to play, and then all of a sudden you're thrown into a game. Yep. You play. I get it. But he didn't really look like an SEC caliber player. And probably that's why he got out. But
did it say where he went to?
I'm button clicking, but clicking buttons ain't my button clicker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was it Coastal Carolina? No, not Coastal Carolina.
No, that don't sound. If I get on the right year, Todd, Jesus is our Lord and Savior. Bowling Green.
Okay, so this could be a good
still in the FBS. I want to say Bowling Green is button clicking again. They are.
Are they with Jacksonville State?
I don't know if they are.
CUSA or?
I don't know. If you would like to help me out, somebody.
That's not somebody. It's just me and you.
Yeah. But while we're looking up that, Eddie Kelly was my pick here. Had 20 total tackles, 14 assists, 6 solos, 1 sack, 2 pass deflections. So a rotational piece here was Eddie Kelly. But that was their biggest thing for them. I feel like, you need depth. And especially at the defensive tackle edge position. Yeah. Your front 7, you need depth. And he provided that. He'll be playing in West Virginia next year.
Yeah. I noticed a lot of these guys that we're featuring, probably will feature, are that defensive line edge guy, because it's such a key play, especially in a predominant SEC program. And back to real quick, Bowling Green is the MAC conference.
Oh, MAC Attack. I tell you, I was talking to Jeremy Burnham the other day.
I'm sorry.
And, brother-in-law,
Okay, yes.
But during the season, if you ever are bored on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and you ain't got no football, Mac Nation is the games to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Them and Conference USA, they ain't good teams by no means. They're not going to beat the Auburns or the Kentuckys or the Missouris of the conference. But they'll beat the crap out of each other, and it's very fun to watch.
It's good ball if you just have to have football 24/7, 1 day a week.
Especially if you're a college fantasy player like we are.
Yep.
And, that's where a lot of our pick'ems come from, too, is in the MAC and whatnot.
We did. I know we watched 4 or 5 games this year because of our pick'em. Brittany's like, are we really watching football on a Tuesday? Yes, ma'am, we are.
Yes. But, these guys, they suck for them. On the Drew Pine one, I bashed him a lot. I do kind of want to see what he does in Bowling Green. Maybe give him another shot, but...
Everybody deserves a second chance.
This was his second chance.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Oh, no, you didn't pick the other one. Okay, cool. I'll still talk about him. So my pick was Kevin Coleman Jr. from Mississippi State. One of the guys I thought Auburn was definitely going to go for, but they end up got Eric Singleton. But Kevin Coleman, 74 receptions, led the team, 932 yards, 5,000 more than the person in second, and 6 total touchdowns.
Oh, you wonder why Mississippi State was at the bottom.
Yeah, and the next person, like I said, he had 74 catches. The next person that had close to him had 34.
Yeah, so who is going to be the starter at Mizzou? Who's their QB1?
See, we talked about this last week, right?
On Mizzou?
Oh, Mizzou.
Yeah, because they're coming. Okay. They're coming in.
So, yeah, the kid that I have right now, he's from Penn State. He was a backup to Drew Aller. It's Bula, something like that.
I remember seeing that in some of the stuff, but
don't know who he is. Definitely gonna be one of the hard names for me to pronounce this year until I hear it on TV. But this kid is, to me, a 4-star transfer, but you sat behind Drew Aller. I mean, right. Drew Aller's a great quarterback, don't get me wrong. Penn State went very far with him. But why are you just now transferring when Drew Aller's been there for what feels like 15 years?
Yeah.
So, I don't know how he'll play inside Missouri. Missouri's got a tough schedule this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be very interesting to see what he does. Which later on in the episodes, not today, when we get out of this, we will break down the 16 projected starting quarterbacks, 16 worst to 1, who we think the best one is coming in.
That might be the next slide. Like coming into the SEC or just coming in?
No. Starting quarterback ranking.
Okay. Yeah, I think that might be the
next. Got it now?
Yeah, I think it might be the next slide.
Hold on. Damon Wilson. Let's see what I got on this kid right here.
And I think he was the guy that we picked. I think Cody actually picked him leaving.
Okay. So we have talked about him.
I think so.
See him. Well, my eyes aren't the best. Oh, Damon Wilson right here. Linebacker, 22 total tackles, 13 solos, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles and 2 fumble recoveries. Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, so another big piece for the Mizzou defense who struggled a little bit last year in vital situations where a decent player could have had more outcomes. I think he's going to, I won't say add depth, but he's going to be able to move some things around for this secondary.
Yeah. So the other guy that I was hoping you picked him, because this was a guy we've talked a lot about. He played against Auburn last year. Was the kid from Louisiana Monroe, the Warhawks, the running back. Amon Hardy, 237 carries, 1,351 yards, and 13 touchdowns.
That's
yeah.
So if their quarterback poops out, I mean, that's going to be your Kevin Coleman, and this running back was going to be your 1 and 2 guys.
And that's what I was hoping, and that's why I didn't go with him, because I figured, which I didn't know Cody wasn't picking. So
more than likely, if we'd have sat and talked, he would have been the other.
Definitely, yeah. But him coming in, he had a very good game against Auburn, and we're talking about Louisiana Monroe. This kid, he only had 60 yards, but a touchdown too. He caught 7 of their 14 points. So I mean, something.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about watching him. Him and Fluff and all these lower end kids that are coming from a different college, and then playing in the SEC, smaller backs. I love that, and I'm ready to see more of it this year.
I'm so excited for Fluff this year. I'm just, especially South Alabama kid. So little guys coming in, or little fishes coming into a big pond. I do like that, especially if they can excel.
Right. All right. So we got Oklahoma. What do you want to grade them?
Oh.
It's hard.
It's hard because, I mean, like I said, not knowing the full quarterback situation.
Yeah.
The running back guys coming in is going to be well. And some of their other picks, I'm B-, maybe a C, depending on 1 or 2 players.
Also, they helped their offensive line out this year. I'm going to go with a solid B. This team ranks 7th in the nation in transfer portal, just right above Auburn. This Missouri Tigers team does. So they got good grade. They got graded well. So I don't know. It could be these offensive linemen, but I'm going to go with a B-, and, hopefully until they play Auburn, they'll prove me wrong.
Yeah.
But don't want to see any other than that. But now we're getting into the Oklahoma Sooners, and here we go. That's that big number I'm talking about. 37 transferred out.
Boy, if that ain't a kick in the teeth.
But if you look down here at I'm actually kind of glad you got this this picture, this screenshot, or whatever it is.
I think I want to start using this. This was a good thing I found.
Right. You see the majority of the players they lost was 3-star athletes. Now, that most of that could be offensive linemen, because offensive linemen don't really get graded that high, or some defensive linemen, it's hard to get high rated.
Super standout that,
Byron Cowards, the Derek Browns in the world.
Already ready to play, NFL ready players.
They come out of high school. You're not going to be a lineman that gets highly graded. It's definitely mostly linemen.
But still, you see that 3-star and you think, well, 3 out of 5. I mean, that's not all that well. But I'm telling you, some of the best players come in as 3 stars and work and get better and turn into these 4- and 5-star guys ready for, NFL ready.
If I remember correctly, Auburn center Connor Lew was a 3-star center coming out of high school, and he started as a freshman.
He did, because I remember that was a whole new line that we had got that year, and it was it didn't help. Quarterback. Anywho, I digress.
But like I said, that's a lot of players coming out, and then
wrong button.
Nope, you're right. I'm wrong. Okay, leaving players. We've already talked about Jackson Arnold, what he meant to this team. Again, throwing to 4th, 5th, 6th string guys. They had a lot of injuries last year. Don't get me wrong. A lot of their great players were injured. We talked about him. Great upside. Kid goes and puts on the orange and blue this year. Hopefully, better receivers. He has that breakout year.
Oh, most definitely. And I think not in the nationwide, but for sure in the SEC, probably the biggest transfer from SEC that we've seen so far. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then Gavin Sawchuk had a down year this year. Split time at running back with Javonte Bernard and Taylor Tatum. He was just really, really hurt and banged up. He only got 39 carries. Michael Hawkins Jr. played half the year and had more carries than him at quarterback.
Is Hawkins coming back?
He didn't enter the portal.
Okay.
They had like 7 quarterbacks in there, but he wasn't one.
God, how do you have a quarterback room that big? We can barely.
Well, it just says 7 because some of the guys that committed and then transferred out again. Out. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, Arnold is probably the biggest name related to the SEC as far as what, like you said, what he meant to Oklahoma, and now he's going to actually have good receivers and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to watch him. I mean, because we're Auburn fans, yes, but of course, outside looking in to see if what he brought from Oklahoma, that talent is going to stay persistent with better, or even get better with the backs and receivers that he has.
Right, and this Gavin Shawchuk kid, he is moving over to a Gus Malzahn offense at Florida State.
Good luck.
Hey, I don't know. That Florida State running back room with him and Wendell Robinson from Alabama a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And then the Gus Malzahn offense, I won't be surprised if week 1, that Florida State-Alabama game, is really close.
Well, Malzahn has had a tendency to whoop up on...
I'm not calling for an upset, but I mean...
There will be signs.
Right, yeah. Okay, you did. Oh, thank you. Yes. I picked John Mateer. No, I picked Jay Knott.
You picked Jay Knott.
Because I knew somebody was going to pick John Mateer, who should probably be the number 1 rated quarterback inside the SEC this year. John Mateer is a kid coming from, I want to say, Washington State.
No, it's I see their logo. It's not Washington State. Washington State's purple.
Nope, that's Washington.
Yeah, that's the Cougars. Okay.
This was Mike Leach's team. Leach.
Oh, man, the myth, the legend.
John Mateer last year, 224 for 347, 3,139 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, got sacked 31 times.
Ow.
Right. So bad line. But him coming into a Brett Venables on not Stoops. Nope. Who is it? I hate this.
I hate the clicking. You would think with us having an SEC podcast, we would know something.
Well, we did, but now we don't. Now we got to click some more. Oklahoma Tornadoes? No. Idiots.
No, you imbeciles.
Are you sure? It's not Brett Venables.
I mean,
it is. Okay, I was right. You suck again. So, Brett Venables back. He's a
second
defense. Yeah, this will be his second year. With him and then the other guy that I picked, coming in, this Oklahoma offense could be very different.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited to see what this Oklahoma Sooner team has coming in. But the other guy we're going to talk about is a kid from the Cal Bears, Jaden Ott, who is he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Did he play against Auburn?
Twice. Okay. He got hurt the first game. He got hurt the first year at Cal.
That's okay.
That's when Auburn, Eugene Asante come in with the big stop.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. This kid's electric. I think he's really can transform this Oklahoma offense to be more prominent.
Which Oklahoma lost a good quarterback, lost a good running back. They got probably an even better running back and maybe an even better quarterback out of this deal.
Yeah, I think really they traded apples for oranges here. Both really good fruits and players. Not fruits. Anyway, but no, like you said, they did lose one of the best quarterbacks. But this John Mater kid, I think he's underrated. He can do it. He just has to have that line and people around him to make him excel. And Jaden Knott's numbers speak for themselves.
Just not last year. He was, like I said, he was banged up because he got hurt against Auburn 2023.
Mm-hmm.
He got 2024, excuse me. Got banged up. And that was like week 2 or 3 of the season. So,
3.
I mean, he got a little banged up. He's still trying to recover from that. Didn't have a lot of had like six touchdowns. I mean, it's still pretty good. Don't get me wrong. But definitely a kid to watch out for inside the SEC. This kid definitely could play in the SEC.
Yeah, I think he's yet to have a breakout. He's poised for it. If like I said, if they can get the line worked out for somebody to block, I think this kid can be a top rusher in the SEC.
And they also lost Bauer Sharp, who we talked about when he went to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not really gonna hit on that any, but it was another key guy that they did lose. Great numbers Bauer Sharp did have for Oklahoma last year.
Yeah. So comes down to it here. I like a B plus because they did lose a lot, but the key players here is that running back and quarterback offensively. So I like a solid B, maybe even a B plus to have a little more expectation for Oklahoma this year. For Oklahoma this year to try to get out of the bottom of the barrel.
I'm giving them A minus. I do like their pickups. I really do. I like the Ott kid. I like Mateer. Coming in, it's going to be up.
That's Mater without the toe.
Sounds like you.
See there.
But it's all going to be proven in the season. Can Brett Venables take this group of young men and have a better season than they had this year?
Right, and I think he's got, like I said, he lost some, but I think he gained about what he lost in some of these more prominent positions.
As we go over to, should be Ole Miss now.
Well, like I said, I went to the eye doctor today, got shots in my eye, and I just want you to know that feels really good. And I can't. Yeah.
So, number 2 rated inside the SEC, number 4 overall rated class is the Ole Miss Rebel Black Bear Land Shark Hootie Hottie Toddies, whatever
Rebel
you want to call them.
Something.
Yeah. 31 players transferred in, 28 players transferred out. Again, mostly 3-star players, which you're going to see a lot of that because it's hard for a 5-star player to leave a team like Ole Miss, or I'm surprised they didn't get 1 or 2,
Yeah, especially the way Kiffin recruits. He's a really good
last
recruiter.
year was insane.
But, they're still bringing in 7 4-stars, and that can translate into 5 stars or drop down. But that's a really big number for this Ole Miss team after losing a couple of key guys. Not just in the transfer portal, but also as well as your senior class leaves.
Definitely. So we got leaving.
Trying to figure out how to work these buttons.
I might have to take our button clicking next week.
I just can't see them.
Yeah. So my guy I picked here was Matt Jones. The reason I picked Matt Jones, I want to say this, his freshman year, played outstanding. This year, he fell behind the depth chart behind 2 dominant running backs, and Henry Parrish Jr. and Wesley Bentley the fourth. 2 great running backs, 10 touchdowns for Parrish, 5 touchdowns for Bentley, 678 yards for Parrish, and along with 419. So his production went down. Only 44 carries for Matt Jones this past year. But definitely a guy that can run the rock. Well, I lied.
Why do you say that?
I thought he had more carries. But he makes the most of his carries. Had a breakout game, had a 46-yard run, the longest this past year, had a 36-yard in 2023. He can run. I give him the rock.
Yeah, and the thing, too, is you still got, what's the quarterback that just left?
Dart.
Yeah, Dart's still throwing 600-700 yards. When you're throwing that many
you
yards,
don't really need that.
No, your numbers, your running back numbers are going to go down. So,
it's a 5'7" running back, 200 pounds, transferred to Southern Mississippi.
Mm-hmm. The guy that I picked, I love the defensive guys. If I can say this name right, maybe the A silent, Cannoli Stone. Is that what you'll go with?
Where's the N? I can go a cold stone, a cold stone.
Cold, like the creamery?
Sure.
I do like ice cream. Pretty good numbers. 6 solo tackles, 1.85 sacks. Was really a good presence on their offense. He will be he's a senior now. Or was a senior, so.
Yeah, you said he was offense or defense?
Defensive line.
Well, you spelled his name wrong, too.
No, and that shocks you?
No, it's Akelo. A kilo. A kilo stone, even better.
No, that's the Georgia team, a kilo.
Well, he's going to Georgia Tech, so.
Right down the road, so.
Yeah. Defensive lineman, 6'2", 285. But on that defensive line was pretty much hummed up by J.J. Pequise, who is now in the NFL.
Auburn.
Well, yeah, that too. He played offensive Auburn.
That's crazy how we let a guy like that just...
And then go play defense and be dominant. Yeah. Yep.
That wasn't Pumpkinhead or Potato Head, was it?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Just making sure.
But who we got coming in for this Ole Miss team?
Caleb Oden and Luke Hawes. You know, the more research I've done this week, I found there's still like more brothers.
Yeah, he was one of the ones we talked about with the Arkansas, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really... Hey, you spelled his name right this week.
Oh, yeah. That was before my shots in my eyes, so I could see.
Yeah. Really excited to see what this kid is. Like I said, we talked about him on the first episode, what he meant to
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Yeah. Led the team in receiving yards and all this other stuff. Coming into Ole Miss, is he going to get the ball passed to him like he did at Arkansas? Well, he really didn't get past that much.
Yeah.
But really excited about this kid. And then my pick was who I projected to pick the freshman of the year. Honestly, I did. I picked him over Ryan Williams. Was Caleb Oden. Coming from Alabama. Really didn't play a lot. So there's not really that much stats on him. But 6'5", 227 inside of a Lane Kiffin offense. Yeah, big target. He'll go up and get it. That's why I picked this kid. And then another kid that we both flopped on. Prince Well. Mananella. I don't know. He came from Nebraska.
That would have been Cody's pick. We'll just say that.
Yeah. 6'5", 245 was an absolute
unit.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I could say the word I was thinking of.
So who's going to be throwing the ball? Ooh, chickens, dogs, and kids. So who's going to be throwing the ball for the land devil shark things?
So from my understanding, you know, Walker Howard, or as some people call him, Uncle Wawa.
That's weird.
It's a TikTok thing with that tight end of theirs, Chris Corn or whatever.
Yeah.
He transferred out. He was the third string. But they did just get this kid from Oklahoma State, Malakawiki Smith. I don't know. He clicks with his name. And then Austin Simmons, who played a lot last year.
Okay, so
he looked dynamic. I figure they're going to lead towards Simmons because he played more last year. So we'll all just have to see. I'm trying to pull up this kid. He didn't play that much. That Principal kid. His brother played at Florida last year, I want to say, or somewhere in there. I remember. But I don't know.
Your wife pinching that baby?
No, he gets like this when it's around nap time.
Nap time? It should be bedtime.
He takes an hour nap and then he wakes up for 2 hours and goes back to sleep for good. But anyway, this Ole Miss team felt really good about them. But I will say, I'll go B positive, or like a B flat. I'm not gung ho on them like the analysts say they are. Yeah, I mean, they got some good picks with Princewell and Odom and Luke Hawes, and Simmons was already there.
It's transfer for. I do like that, but you're coming into the Lane Kiffin offense that's very relied a lot on Jackson Dart last year. So
yeah,
if that does,
as a bad passer, I mean, what do you expect?
If that does not translate, they could be in trouble. So I do like the B flat. Why do you know working?
Yeah, like I said, it's just gonna be what can Lane do with this team.
Now see, I got too happy with it.
That's a big old boy.
Yeah, and he gone.
Yeah. Oh, you done button clicked it far enough.
I button clicked it far enough. Not insert. If I could see, this would help.
There we go.
There we go.
Talking about the South Kakalaka Gamecocks, transferred out was 22, all of them 3 stars, and 17 players coming in.
That don't add up right. If you take 13 or if you take 22 3-stars
Uh-huh.
and only add 3 4-stars, I can't math well, but that don't work out in your favor.
13 plus 3 equals 16, so they must have like a 1 or 2 star, probably like a kicker or something come in.
Yeah, but there's nothing I've seen that was just super outstanding. They lost a lot defensively.
Yeah.
They're gonna. I think they're gonna struggle next year in the defensive side of the ball.
We're also not talking about players that they lost to the draft too. So
correct. So
this South Carolina team might be in danger this year. It's up to Lenore Sellers.
Bless his heart. And
Lenore.
Yeah.
Somebody else. Oscar Artaway, I think it is, to step up big for this team. Because if not, South Carolina is going to look totally different than they was this year.
Yeah, they will not be as dominant as they were.
I agree.
Why won't you work?
Okay. All right. Now, your guy was Elijah Davis. Do you have stats on him? I don't think you do.
Click some buttons.
I'm button clicking.
Our fans like button clicking.
I'm trying to find my guy.
All 7 of us.
Ronnie, 8.
Hey, woo.
Ronnie Porter, 4 total tackles. That's not the guy I wanted. I knew him. He was like I said, this team was hard to pick.
Mm-hmm.
What they had going out was so hard. I picked a bench player. That's how deep I was in it, because I wasn't picking Robbie Ashford.
Robbie left too?
Yeah, Robbie went to Wake Forest.
Oh, poor Robbie.
Robbie.
I just wish he could have found somewhere where he could have excelled, because the kid had outstanding talent.
He could run.
Yeah, or he would either at Auburn or anywhere else, just found the right system for him, because the kid's passionate about ball. I have personally talked to him before, and he was so fired up about football and stuff like that, and I hate to see that this jumping around and carrying on has really kind of saturated to being the best player he could be, I think, and not found a super home. But anyway, yes.
Think of a baseball player as well.
Yes.
And then I don't know what this kid played.
Who's that?
Oh, he played Elijah Davis. I got him now. He didn't play this year. That's why I couldn't find him.
So, like I said, you said it the best. It was so hard to find
players that actually meant something to this team in this transfer portal. I couldn't find anything. I searched far and wide. That's why it took us. When did I send them? Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it took so long. This was you had to do research on the South Carolina team, because they was probably the toughest nut to crack out of the 12 teams we've done so far.
Yeah.
I had to count.
Yeah, and it stinks because, like we talked, this is going to be a different looking South Carolina team. Now, last year it was, later on in the season they really bulked up, and defense was the big reason that they won a lot of the games in the second half of the season. But now that the defense has really turned face, it's going to be hard for South Carolina to stay out of the bottom, I believe.
I agree. But definitely going to have to see what they have coming in. And, okay, let's making sure we didn't pick the same people or the same position, because they had two big tight ends that came in. And I was making sure we both didn't pick both of the tight ends.
Yeah, well.
I'm button clicking. We're talking about, first big guy we're talking about is Jordan Dingle, the tight end, 6'4", 242 pounds, coming over from Kentucky. I liked what I saw of this kid. I watch a lot of Kentucky. They are my second favorite team inside the conference and second favorite team overall. But this kid, he was a big target for Vandergriff, who's now retired from football, and for Wismet, who likes to run the ball. When you're 6'5", you're going to be in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Dingle had 9 catches for 71 yards and 1 touchdown. So, I mean, that's probably a game's worth, but last year, the year before that, 220 yards and 270 yards. So, and his longest touchdown of his career is a 72-yard bomb. So the kid has range. He just needs a quarterback.
Yeah, and because he didn't have one last year.
I mean, you get Lenore Sellers, who's a pretty good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I rank Lenore Sellers inside the top 5 quarterbacks inside the SEC this year. I do. He's very good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Dingle might actually be in his favor to help this team.
Is it Dingle or Pringle?
It's Dingle.
Oh, man.
Again.
I'm telling you, this is all after my shot, so. But this, it's not Demon, it's, I guess, Damon. Mr. Dumont. Clown. This is his 4th school already in his, which he will be a senior at South Carolina. Last year, 14 solo tackles, 2 sacks, no forced fumbles or no NITs, but he was dominant at, I think he wasn't at Charlotte last year. I think he was at Louisville.
Yeah.
Last year.
He was at Charlotte and then Louisville. Oh, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Shut up, Todd.
And I think there was another one before. Yeah, there was one more before Charlotte, and I think it was an SEC team. I'm not 100%.
I'm looking right now.
So this might be one of the better pickups for South Carolina for this defense, which is, again, to me is going to be in shambles. Now, we get into week 4 or 5, and they lead the SEC in all defensive categories. Will shock the piss out of me, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be this year. Beamer ball might be slowly dying here in South Carolina if recruiting stays at this type of level. So,
well, we don't know about recruiting. This is only the transfer portal.
You know what I meant,
right? But the Clowney, cousin of Jadeveon Clowney, he went to Ole Miss to begin his career.
Okay,
so, yes, you are correct.
I knew. Overall transfer portal for them, I mean, D, because
that's D plus. No,
really
bad. If that ain't Florida's, but really bad.
Yeah, Florida was tough, but this team right here really didn't use the transfer portal well
to their advantage.
Right.
Yeah. Which South Carolina was one of those teams I was talking about that mid-pack SEC. They're great. They're good players. If they don't go to the draft, they're going to play somewhere else.
Oh yeah, and that's.
But they kept most of their good players along with that defensive lineman Stewart, I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah, they kept him. Signed him to a big contract.
Yeah, the guy that I had picked last year when I was talking about it.
Yeah.
Ooh, where are we at now?
Should be around the corner. Yep, that was it. So that was all for the Transfer Portal episode 3. And I think there's one more thing coming up. One more episode, yes. One more episode next week coming up. I think there should be 3 more slides maybe. Yep. All right, here it is. We're talking about the best all-time logo tournament. We are wrapping up, still round 1, game 2 of our bracket, which was the number 2 overall seed, Georgia Bulldogs, great logo, number 15 overall seed, Kentucky Wildcats. These numbers are ranked on how they finished in the conference last year.
So what had happened was Georgia was the cardiac kids. They waited till the last minute to come in. After we
talked, yeah. We talked, and he was like,
"It's Brittany's
I'm
fault.
trying to finish." Yeah, we'll blame Brittany.
This is the one I picked, so we're going to blame her anyway.
I think Matt even picked him too. I mean, I don't care. But, it's a good logo.
Yeah,
both
really are good logos.
It was a tough matchup.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially if we're sticking strictly to football logos. Kentucky has some really good old school basketball logos.
Yeah, I like the new school one. But so they finished it off. Like I had to look. because you text me like Saturday or Sunday, he's like, hey, who won? I'm like, it's tied.
What was it?
No.
7-7 or?
It was like 7. Yeah, it's about that. And Georgia finished up winning like 15-7 or 11-7, something like that.
After we reposted everything, it got a few more folks in to take a look at it.
But now we're going to bring you the 3-14 matchup, which is the number 3 Tennessee Volunteers, and I don't know how this even made it this far. But versus the hometown favorite, number 14 seed, Albie.
So, question: is this the last round, or is this the last matchup for round 1?
No. This is the third matchup.
So there would be
8.
Okay.
Because 3 times 2 is only 6.
I'm seeing the meme right here of the guy doing this with all the numbers and stuff going around.
So, anywho, who you gonna pick?
You know who I'm picking, but
Exactly.
And it's not because that I don't like the Tennessee logo. That is one of my favorite of the retro logos.
I don't like it at all. I mean, Tennessee really don't have any great logos.
No,
sorry to the Carter family out there, but I don't like none of them. I really don't.
Unless they stick with the T, and then you get some of their basketball stuff. It's got Smokey in there. But besides this one for Auburn, this is probably my favorite of all the Auburn. I do like the one, the eagle going through the A. But this is, yes, sir, that one right there.
Yeah.
So it's a no-brainer for me. It's a no-brainer for you.
But the reason it is a no-brainer for us.
Brittany said, can both of them lose?
No. The reason it's a no-brainer is because, it's not because we're Auburn fans. It's because this is a iconic logo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're going for. We want to know what logo versus which logo is going to be the better. Again, I'm not a fan of this Tennessee Volunteers. This could have went up against Vandy, and I still would have picked Vandy. I'm not a fan of this.
Is it the logo
Tennessee
or
logo.
the school?
It's the logo.
Okay.
It's the logo. It's okay. It's cool with the old Smoky Mountain, whoever. Not Paul Revere. What's his name? Davy Crockett looking dude. When Paul Revere rode the horse into the British are coming. My bad. English or Spanish. What is it?
Oh,
he's dead.
But no, Todd, I want to put before we do that, because I talked with Brittany about it, how we talked about if you click the logo, it expands where you can see it better once we post it. And then you can actually click the name, and that's who you can vote for.
Right.
Because I think some of the people didn't know that if you actually click the logo, it makes it bigger so you can.
That's what I said last week, because you said we didn't like to change it up. I was like, no, you can click the logo itself and it pop up the picture. Because I downloaded it before I posted it, because I just did it on myself.
That's what Brittany says. Well, I can't see it. And I said, well, because I had thought about that before you told me that. So we done it that way. So we'll just make one more post before we throw this one. Are you going to throw this one on tomorrow?
I'll throw it on Thursday. It'll be when this airs. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll schedule it for the same time the episode comes out. So episodes come out on Thursday, 7 a.m. This post will be on our Facebook page at 7 a.m. Go ahead, like it, share it, follow it. I'm trying to get to where I think I'm figuring it out again, where when I post the episode on Facebook, it actually let us share it. It's been a problem. It's not been letting us share it. It really bothers me because the people that actually listen to it want to share it, and it won't let you share it, and it just bugs me.
Maybe you should talk to our tech guy.
Well, our tech guy said our tech guy was crazy. So, I mean...
Hey, as much work as he put in last week...
I am so grateful for that. But this is the end of episode 52. We want to thank everybody that has took the time out to listen to us ramble on about the hard-nosed transfer portal this week, and what we like and what we dislike from these teams, and then ramble about other stuff that we don't really know about. We just talked about it.
It's just rambling. Most people ramble with us, but not to put in a shameless plug or anything. Here soon, I've got my little card photo thing coming up at Under Review Customs. Come by. I've got a Facebook. I don't have a TikTok yet. What's the other ones I got?
You ain't got no TikTok?
I ain't got no TikTok. But no, I've really done the last couple of weeks. I've done some really cool 8x10 work, some artworks for some for some senior kids. I've done some few other stuff. I've got really decent prices where, I mean, you can spend as much as you want, or I think the lowest product I got is like $10, and that's for a card. So, Look me out, Under Review Customs, on my page. I've got my numbers and stuff on there. Give me a call, a text, a email, or anything like that, and I'd love to hook you up.
Another thing for that, CFP 26 is coming out. I've seen some of the stuff. Marty will make you a cover for your game and have the graphics designed and have your kid or you, whoever, on the cover of the game.
Yep.
Just for, whatever. I don't know if you still got that deal going on, or will you have that deal going on?
No, like I said, we're doing at the game cases now. I've got them at a flat rate at $40. That's fully customized. That's your player, your team, however, breaks down all usually 3 or 4 different picks on the back. It's totally customized to the team that you want or however you want. Like I said, if you can imagine, I can pretty much make it into something.
Right.
So my biggest,
that's just really cool.
Right. The biggest thing, did you see the thing I did for Grayson, the slab 11x14?
No.
Well, what it is, you get a slab card that's got the little writing on top what it grades. I've done that. I've done that for I think 3 or 4 now. People are really like them. They're really interested. I've went to a ball game yesterday and did something similar to that to one of the little senior kids for one of the Raglan teams. And while I was doing that, I had 2 more customers come up to me and want one. So they're really fun. He was super excited. He said, as soon as I get home, I'm hanging it up in my room. So yeah, let your sports fan be a part. Let him have his own game cover, or vice versa. It's really cool. I love doing it. I love the sports. Yes, I get aggravated sometimes, but my biggest thing, when I talked to his mom earlier today, and she said he was just smiling, he loved it, and wanted to hang it up. That's the part I get out of it. So check me out, Under Review Customs. I'm just a phone call, text, email away to get you something great.
Yeah, definitely great work. Like I said, go check him out. Get that cover. Get a card. There's these kids that never really will. Hopefully they will. I hope all these kids will go on and make a cover, someday. But, stuff happens, injuries happen. Some might not even get to see a baseball or football card of them. It's just something, it's mementos. It don't mean nothing. You say it might not mean nothing to them, but to those kids, it's seeing their face on a baseball card or a football card means the absolute world. Because I remember I know I used to, but you probably still do, collect cards and seeing all the stuff on it. It just brings me joy. So get out there, give him a call, reach out to him. Yeah. Do what you got to do. Let him hook you up.
And hopefully this week, as far as my Facebook page, I'm going to try to get everything that I've done in the last 2 or 3 weeks out, and so have a little more exposure with some of the stuff I can do. And if there's something custom you want, we can work it out. We can make it happen. And I love doing it. Yes, I make a mess, and Brittany threatens to kill me at least twice a week if my creative juices are flowing.
I don't want to.
Anywho.
God loves you, and we love you here at the End Review Podcast. Again, thank you to everybody that watches, listens, shares, comments, does whatever. Thank you, and have a great week.
Thanks for making the call to go under review. Join us next time as we go to the monitors. Until then, keep your flag handy.